Hello guys, we are now on the third part of our discussion about solving quadratic equation by completing the square. Hope you enjoy it. Here we go. So we are done now with objective number 1 and objective number 2 of solving quadratic equations by completing the square. So let's proceed to the objective number 3, and that is simplify the terms of an equation before solving it. So there is an example in simplifying terms of an equation before solving it. Consider the example, quantity x plus 6 times the quantity of x plus 2 is equal to 1. Take note that the given left side of the equation is factored form, while on the other side of the equation is equivalent to 1. So therefore, we could not go over with automatically solving for the solution of x because of equivalent to 1. So therefore, we are now first solving the left side of the equation by using the FOIL method, and that is x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 6 times x is 6x, 6 times 2 is 12, and copy the equals 1. So let's proceed now, combine like term of 2x and 6x. So we have here x squared plus 8x plus 12 is equal to 1. So we have now that kind of a process. So let's proceed now to have the constant term of which is 12 must be on the left side. So we have now x squared plus 8x is equal to 1 minus 12 because the additive inverse of 12 is negative 12. So yes, the next part is we're going to make it the left side of the equation to make it perfect square trinomial, and that is looking for the linear term of 8x, each numerical coefficient which is 8, divide that 1 to 2, half of it, and that is 4, then square of 4 is 16. So that is why we have 16, add 16 on the left side of the equation and as well as on the right side of the equation. And after which, so we have now combined negative 11 plus 16 and we have 5. So we have now the process or the next step, which is x squared plus 8x plus 16 is equal to 5. So therefore this one now is considering go with the factoring part. So the factor form of x squared plus 8x plus 16, since this is now a perfect square trinomial, is quantity x plus 4 times the quantity squared. So we have now equals 1. So after which, take both sides using the square root property. So take the square root of both sides. So we have now that square root of quantity x plus 4 quantity squared is equal to plus minus square root of 5. Next is we are going to break down of that since we have two values of x, and that is x plus 4 is equal to square root of 5, and the other one is x plus 4 is equal to negative square root of 5. So to solve for x, on the first part is we have make the positive 4, make it 0, so we are going to have that one as its additive inverse, so transpose. So we have now x is equal to negative 4 because the additive inverse of positive 4 is negative 4, then copy the plus 5, the plus square root of 5. And then on the other side, still the same, that the plus 4, make it in the constant, which is plus 4, it must be on the right side. So we have here the additive inverse of positive 4 is negative 4, then copy the minus square root of 5. So we have now two set of values of x, and that is set negative 4 plus minus square root of 5. So we are now done with our example. So let's proceed to the next slide, and that is the objective number 4, which is solve applied problems that require quadratic equations. So here comes the example of solving a velocity problem relative to objective number 4. Suppose a ball is projected upward with an initial velocity of 120 per second its height at time t in seconds is given by s is equal to negative 60 squared plus 128t, where s is in the feet. At what time will the ball be 48 feet above the ground? Give the answer in years 10. So that we're going to have let s be the height, which is 48 feet. So from that, so we have now 48 is equal to negative 16t squared is equal plus 128t. So from that, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 16 because the numerical of the second degree term, which is quadratic term, is negative 16. So we have to divide both sides by negative 16. Then after which is we're going to simplify. So we have now 48 divided by 16 is negative 3. Negative 16 divided by negative 16 is t squared. 128 divided by negative 16 is negative 8. Then copy the t. So we have now negative 3 is equal to t squared minus 8t. So from that, so we are going to make it a perfect square trinomial the right side. So half of the linear term, the numerical of the linear term is negative 8. So half of negative 8 is negative 4. Square of negative 4 is 16. So that is why we're going to add both sides by 16. So we have now negative 3 plus 16 is equal to t squared minus 8t plus 16. So the next one is we have now, since this is the right side of the equation is minus the linear term, so if we're going to factor it out, so we have now quantity t minus 4 quantity squared, then negative 3 plus 16 is 13. So after which, so we have to take both sides by square root property. So take the square root both sides. So we have now plus minus square root of 13 is equal to square root of quantity t minus 4 quantity squared. And so we have now to break down. The first one is the square root of positive square root of 13, and we have t minus 4. The other one is t minus 4 is equal to negative square root of 13. Then if we're going to have to solve the value of t, so we're going to transpose the negative 4. So its additive inverse is positive 4. So it became now t is equal to 4 plus 3.6. Take note that we're going to simplify or approximate the square root of 13 nearest 10 from the given. What is as there is we are going to find at what times that the ball be on the 48 feet above the ground, but we are going to take note that it must be on the nearest 10. So we have now the square root of 13 is 3.6 and the other one is negative 3.6. So therefore 4 plus 3.6 is we have 7.6, and the other one 4 minus 3.6 is 0.4. So therefore, at what times will the ball be on the 48 feet above the ground? So we have now the ball will be at the height of 48 feet from the ground at the times of 0.4 seconds and 7.6 seconds. Thank you. Have a nice day.